I'm new to the fucking game. All right.
Why did you open that can before starting the recording?
Cause I didn't feel like doing the not sponsored thing before the.
But you've passively mentioned it.
Huh?
You've passively mentioned it.
Yeah, but this is the podcast. We don't do that on the podcast.
Yes, we've also mentioned that as well. So why mention the not sponsored thing if we don't actually mention it in here?
Because it's still something we do. We could talk about the fact that I do it. I just don't do it in the podcast. Welcome to late night Shit-Fuckery. It is so late that it is actually 6:35 in the morning. People are getting up to go to work right now.
Yep.
And we're still awake recording a podcast. Listen, we've been watching Sunny in Philly, and well, I played some GTA. I got kind of distracted. We were gonna do it at 4 in the morning, and then I got distracted playing GTA, and mission after mission, it just kept flowing. So I had to just keep doing it. Got kind of sucked in, and then we were watching our own episodes because we're funny. Check out the lost footage, by the way. I guess no shame in saying to check out our lost footage. It's very funny. It's us and a bum and Aramis, the pussy eater, whatever his name is. And yeah, so check that out. That's funny because there's 4 of us, so we all kind of get each other's goats. Mostly Aramis's goat. Mostly we get Aramis's goat. But there's some goat getting passing around. We kind of share the goat. It goes around the group. The goat's kind of a groupie,
I don't understand why you're trying to make this into something weirder.
It's like we're at a petting zoo and there's a goat walking around and we all got feed for it. So it's just going back and forth to the 4 of us, and we're getting each other's goat. That's essentially what's going on. So check out the Lost episode for Breath of the Wild. More to come. But actually, that actually is something I wanted to talk about, clear up, because it was in the description of one of the videos, but I didn't really get a chance to, make the announcement. And basically, so what happened was, you may have noticed, some of you more perceptive trash pandas may have noticed that, on Thursday, when normally an episode of Breath of the Wild would go up, instead it was an episode of Ultimate Alliance. And basically what happened was the laptop that we used to edit has kind of filled up on space, probably because, Arbor does manage to download a lot of crap onto it, but so there's not a lot of space on the laptop, and we actually it was a very long session of Ultimate Alliance. Wasn't it? It was what, 6 hours?
Over 6.5 hours?
Yeah. We beat the game. I guess it's kind of a spoiler. I don't know. We beat the game in the session, so we're done with it, and now we can film my birthday special sometime, which is still... We have not announced what the game is going to be, but it's going to be fun for you guys to watch and painful for me to play. So, yeah. That'll be up. I don't know. Probably after Ultimate Alliance. So, in a while. But, so we have enough space on the laptop to have the session of Ultimate Alliance that we filled, but not enough space to upload the session of Breath of the Wild that we filmed. So essentially, until either we finish Ultimate Alliance getting uploaded and I can delete that, from the library, or I find out I just delete a bunch of crap off my laptop or find out another solution, we're just going to be able to upload Ultimate Alliance. And speaking of that Ultimate Alliance session, there's also issues within that where, and it's on me, actually, for once. Normally it's Arbor's fault, but this one was my fault. I was messing around with the audio before we filmed because I was trying to fix the whole echoing issue, where like the cutscenes you hear the echo in and it's like annoying. So I was trying to fix that, and instead, for whatever reason, I just turned our gain way down. So our voices were, like, our commentary audio was super quiet. Like, you could barely hear us talking over the game audio originally, which means that Arbor has to manually, because the recording software we use gives us the commentary and the game audio files separately, but then it also, like, kind of mixes it for us while we record. But you have that option, which for the first time we actually have to do that now, where Arbor has to manually put in the commentary and the game audio and then mix it. So you will notice that the audio might have some like sync issues, like it might not sync up perfectly, and also there will be some like inconsistencies in volume, like commentary versus game audio volume. That's just, something you guys are gonna have to deal with. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is, and yeah, but it's not too bad. I think it sounds okay. So that's just what's going on with that. And next thing to talk about is our merch. Very exciting. We have merch. Some of you may have seen our Halloween special, which or the merch announcement, which was just uploaded like normally. And basically, the merch is also kind of complicated, because it's like we have to do it in a weird way, because the website that we're normally, I guess, if someone was gonna do their own merch like without a third party, we would, I guess, buy the merch and then have like a stock of it and then sell what we have. But I don't think we have enough of a what's following. I was gonna say a like the economics term for it. Not necessity. It's like a well, I forget. Yeah, you get what I mean. At least, Ghost, like a following. Yeah. Like, we wouldn't sell enough of it to do that. So I'm basically just gonna make one order. Well, I'll tell you why. We're basically buying them to order. And we're gonna do one order because if we buy more of the same product, it gets cheaper by a pretty significant amount, like a couple dollars for each like additional product that you buy of the same kind. So that's why we're kind of doing it in this weird way where it's like every basically the website is garbagefiregamingmerch.weebly.com, and it'll, I guess I have to throw that in the description now if I remember. So yeah, you can go check that out, and basically you just kind of fill out an order form, say what you want to buy, and then we get an email saying that you bought that, like what you order, and then we'll email you tentatively how much it should be, like as it stands, and then we'll email you in, I think, a week from now. Yeah, the 14th is the final day. So get your orders in by the 14th, and then we are going to like finalize it, throw it all in the shopping cart, and then see if anything goes down, based on if you guys buy the same product. And then we'll email you again saying how much your order actually is, or finalize the original price. And then there'll be a PayPal that's opened up, or we'll send you a link to a PayPal like thing that you can pay. I guess you can pay through PayPal. And yeah, so I'll send you that information then, and then we'll order it, and when it comes in, we will have Arbor deliver it to you as fast as his little legs can run. And yeah, so yeah, that's the merch. And that's about all the official business out of the way. And now that we got that stuff done, let's Ghost, how is your it's been a while since we actually did one of these podcasts because we had the special. So anything interesting happened to you in the last I guess few weeks?
Other than finding a group to raid with on like Destiny 2 and stuff to actually get some of the raids that are going to be going on the 10th, because they're going to be rotated out, so it will make the game's file size shorter, or smaller.
Yeah.
Which is going to be a pain in the ass, because it also, for PC, wants you to have 180 something gigs free in order for it to update to become smaller at the same time. So that's stupid. So basically, I have to uninstall Destiny 2, wait for the 11th, and then reinstall the fucking game. Which is a pain in the ass, but it's understandable with how they did the file system. But whatever.
Yeah. So you made those new friends, right? Your new.
Quite a few.
Yeah. What are their full names and addresses?
No. And I don't even really know, so either way.
Just completely dox them. But yeah, so, so you've been playing a lot of Destiny recently.
Yeah.
And a lot of VR stuff.
Yeah.
And, oh, the Dusty's in here.
Holy shit. Yeah, I did see him. I just didn't want to call him out. He's chilling with the plastic bags.
Yeah, he does like sniffing those.
And not
bags.
in the horrible way, like he gets stuck in them or anything.
No, not
he just
like
sniffs them.
Not like Froggy. He's Oh, you'll get that reference. That's a Sunny and Philly reference.
Oh.
He when they unzip Frank, yeah, is that gonna? No, it doesn't pick up when he plays with the bags. That'd be funny. You just hear background noise of like bags.
Yeah.
Dusty, come over here. You want to be on the podcast?
So,
Dusty, come here. Want to be on the podcast?
It's mostly because I don't have gold on Xbox anymore, that I'm playing more on my PC with the other set of friends that I've slowly kind of accidentally came across within VR chat and stuff, and then it kind of snowballed into like 3 friend groups that I've now been attached to.
Yeah. I can't wait to get my new computer so I could start doing VR.
Yeah.
I just feel like, man, I just love the idea of VR, and I've seen so many things with VR, and it just really makes me excited, and I'm like, I love it. I just feel like VR chat is like the pinnacle. That's like the best. That's like, I just feel like that's my favorite part about playing online games like Gary's Mod and TF2. I love so much, and those are my 2 favorite like multiplayer like
VR
games.
chat doesn't really have like full-on games.
No, not games, but my favorite part about those like games was the community, I guess.
Interaction.
And like getting to talk to people and like just, I guess, trolling them, and it's just so funny talking to people online, and you just meet so many funny people, and there's just so many kooky characters, and then like I myself am quite the kooky character, so that just kind of, man, I just really can't wait to get myself into all those messes. And,
oh yeah.
I just can't wait to do all that. And when I get my new computer, I could play GTA 5 online on my computer, and then we could play maybe
with a solid frame
rate. Do video stuff maybe on there. That'd be cool. I bet people would enjoy watching us screw each other over in GTA Online.
Maybe.
Don't say like that's not what it's gonna come down to. It's like
Us getting angry at each other
yeah,
and
and like
lobbing
blowing
fucking
each other
missiles.
up. Yeah, that's I feel like the end of every single episode of us playing GTA Online is gonna be the two of us like fighting
Just
to
always
the
an
death.
explosion. Just always an
Uh,
explosion.
man, in you know, I actually I've mostly just been doing D&D and working over at good old DQuee, and I've been writing my movie. That's right. I haven't talked about it on the channel at all, actually. But me and my dad and my sister a little bit, we've all been kind of writing this movie. I don't want to really talk too much about it because um, and I'm sure. Well, I don't. I think my dad usually stops listening by this point, but he's a lot more excited for it than I think I am. I'm a bit more rational when it comes to those sorts of things. Like, I just am like, I don't know. I try not to get like my hopes up or anything because it just makes it a lot easier if things don't like take off. But he really thinks that it's gonna be successful, and I do agree in the sense that it is a very funny concept and it's a very funny movie. I think what I'm mostly like, unsure of is whether or not it'll get enough traction to like break out. I mean, I think our channel's pretty funny, and we haven't. It's like the same sort of thing. It's just like I'm not trying to like come off as like oh, we should be getting way more views. Like, I just understand it's how it works. Like, there's when you're shouting basically into a vacuum, and there's like millions of people who also think that their ideas are really funny and good, and it's hard to kind of shout over them, I guess. But anyway, so I've been doing that a little bit. And yeah, but at Dequee today, during the shift, we actually stumbled. Me and my captain, we actually had a little bit of an argument, a disagreement, a moral conflict that I would like to bring in to the rest of the Trash Pandas and you, Ghost. I'd love to hear your opinion on this. Don't give me that look. I promise you, it's not like when I'm offensive. This is a complete like. This is like a philosophy question. This is a great philosophical question that Plato just couldn't answer. These are the ones that all the previous great philosophers, none of the Greeks, none of the Romans, they all just kind of threw this on the back burner, and they're like, we'll let the future guys hit this one and check this one off. So to understand what this is, I'm gonna have to give you guys a little bit of background knowledge about Dequee. So basically, we have these things. We have these lunch specials, and what the lunch special is, from when we open, which is 11 or 12 on a Sunday, to 3 o'clock p.m. You can come, and we have two options. There's the double cheeseburger and the 3-piece. This is not very important, but it's a little important. So basically, you get either the double cheeseburger, the 3-piece, chicken strips, whichever you want to choose, and then you get a side of fries and a drink and a sundae, an ice cream sundae, or a Blizzard if you upgrade it. And basically, there's that special is a set price of $6 or for the 3-piece or $7 for the double cheese. And like, if you take things out of like the thing, like say a customer doesn't want the sundae, it's still going to be $6 for them or $7 for them. It doesn't decrease it at all. But there are some customers who just, I don't know, they just really don't want their ice cream or drink. They do it with the drink too, or fries. We've had all sorts of like people, like all sorts of different people coming through saying they don't want certain aspects of it, and then we tell them, hey, it's included in the price. Like, you're paying for it, you might as well take it. And for drinks, we usually give them water bottles because that's like people usually will take that. But for Sundays, if they don't want ice cream, like there's no real way to give that to them. So I'm just like, you know what? All right, like you're paying for it, but whatever. So this question came up. This question came up today. If a customer buys a lunch special and they don't want their ice cream, can I make and eat it? Is the question, and this sparked quite a bit of debate. I have a reputation there for eating garbage. I tend to eat a lot of food that would normally get thrown out because it like fell on a counter or something and we can't sell it. But I'm like, well, this is a perfectly good French fry. There's no reason to throw it out, and I'll eat it because like it didn't like get contaminated by anything. And stuff like that. So it's kind of in my, pool of things to do. But this time, I feel like it's almost more. I feel like it's more justified because the ice cream is paid for, and now I'll start. We don't get anything like for free. We get free drinks. We get a free little Dixie cup of fountain drink. From the soda fountain that we can drink, but other than that, like we have to pay for everything. That's why it's kind of like we don't get free ice cream or anything like that. Like a lot of people think for some reason, but yeah, we don't get any like free food or anything. So that's why it's kind of like like normally we wouldn't get free ice cream. But if someone buys a lunch special, they are paying for a small sundae, and they're not taking the sundae. So I feel like it's justified to make and then eat a small sundae. Like the balance of what ice cream has been paid for, is still the same. If anything, like our boss would be probably still net saving ice cream because that's just one customer out of the day that we would do that with. There's enough customers that come by that don't want their freaking ice cream that like we could all do that and there'd still be like probably like 3 or 4 orders where they don't want it still. And I just think not that I would do it, and I wouldn't do it because that's just not the way that we operate there. That's not the way that we kind of do things. Also, there's not really enough time. Like we keep pretty busy. Like there's not really enough time to make and eat ice cream during the shift anyway because we're all working. But as just like we were talking about, another employee who tends to do things like that under the veil of like eating mistakes and such that are, I guess you could say, immoral in a professional sense. But we were saying, oh well, this person would probably do it, and they were kind of like poking fun, like, oh, that's something they would do. And then I was thinking about it, and I'm like, well, it's kind of justified because the ice cream's being paid for at least. Like, like it's being, they're paying for an ice cream. While they don't take it, they don't want it, it's still paid for.
I feel like you're just making this a call out just to piss someone off, so I don't really want to reply to it at all.
I'm curious because we were pretty mixed. Like at the shift, like there was people for and against the eating the, I guess, customer's ice cream that they wouldn't want. So I was just wondering where you'd sit. I was looking for outside opinions. I want to gather more opinions, see how split it is. Because as it stands, I'd say it's probably 40-60, with the majority saying that it is wrong to eat the ice cream.
Let's see if the bot that says first all the time replies to that.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see if that the bot. That'd be weird though. Normally it just says first or some iteration of first.
Yeah.
And then leaves, and I don't even know if they watch the whole video. Actually, I'll say this. I'll challenge them. If that bot does watch the entire video and its AI is high functioning enough to, listen and change its workings based on what we talk about, then write first backwards. Like TS TSRIF. Yeah.
Look,
dude, it is
Wow.
7 in the morning. Don't. I'm pretty good.
Brainstalling.
So, comment first backwards if you listen this far. And if it's not backwards and it's normal or some other thing, then we're going to know that you don't watch all the way through, then 25 minutes in.
How much you want to bet that it's going to be like, it's going to say first and then have another comment underneath it with the reverse after the fact?
That would be fine. It's written it at all backwards. Like, you could comment it like twice if you want, or do whatever you want. But basically, I'm just looking for first written backwards. So you could, put whatever flavor you want into it. I don't really care. But that's just so. But where do you stand, Ghost, in Ice Cream Gate? Where do you stand?
Ice Cream Gate.
And please, Trash Pandas, please comment your thoughts on this. Except for Captain, because I already know you're. Well, she'll comment again.
I don't really know where I'd stand on that, really.
I want you to figure out where you would stand.
Because that's already very back and forth in my brain anyway. Stuff like that. There's a lot of instances I've noticed of stuff like that. Just in general. But I don't really know.
You gotta pick a side. It's like Civil War. You have to.
No.
Yeah, it is. I'm saying it's like Civil War. You have to pick a side.
You think you're gonna peer pressure me into that shit?
I'm not peer pressuring you into either side. I just want you to make where do you stand. Like you.
I'm too tired for this shit, dude.
Just pick one then.
No.
Just pick a side. Just flip a coin. All right, you heard it here first. Garbage Fire Gaming is having a civil war. Ghost says that I should not eat the customer's ice cream. That. Okay, so you think that I should eat it?
I didn't say that either.
All right, so he's saying that I shouldn't eat. You heard it here. I should not eat the ice cream.
I'm flip this chair now.
No. I'm saying that I have the right to hypothetically eat the ice cream. So, are you on Ghost's side or my side? We're picking sides now.
I don't.
He just put his face into his palm. He did a face palm. So yeah, that's it. We're in Civil War. For the record, I'm Iron Man. You can be Captain America, 'cause I'm the one that's, I guess I'm the one being the liberal here, and then you're the one doing the, like, no. I'm the one that's like, this new idea is good, and you're like, no, it's not. It's bad. That's... Oh, man.
I am more of an outworlder who just doesn't give a fuck about the situation. Nothing of the sorts that you're trying to make up.
I want a Civil War to happen right here in the Garbage Truck Game. And I want this to get out. If you have a YouTube channel...
I'm executing Arbor before he picks a side.
If Arbor can't pick a side. He has to edit the videos, so he's impartial. His opinion doesn't matter. Anyway, he is subhuman. So he would not. He is lower than us on the evolution chain. I'm not kidding. He did. Guys, can you believe this? This is actually a really funny story. Arbor paid for one of those, like, ancestry things. Like, he paid for one of those, like, ancestry things for them, like, you spit in a bottle or something, and then they, like, tell you that you're, like, a quarter black, and then you can tell your white friends how you're kind of black or something. Well, Arbor did that, right? Because he was like, oh, I want to know if I'm German. Like, I don't know why he thought, but he's not. By the way, it came back. He's like mostly French, as if that's a surprise. And so he but yeah, so he sent it out, and they sent it back with his results, because he did get it back that he was like kind of French, and he was also like Scandinavian, like countries like over there. But they said that he had like see, I don't know, I don't remember exactly the term they used, but it was like subhuman. Like they said that he had like caveman essentially in him, like well, what was it, like not Homo sapien, it was like the one that's right before we evolved to be where we are today. Are we Homo sapiens now?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so it's whatever's right before Homo sapien.
I don't know, probably like Homo erectus
Homo
or something in
erectus.
that
That's the
area.
funny one. That's the one everyone remembers. But I don't know. It's whatever's right before Homo sapien. They wrote him like a personalized letter that was like, "Look, dude, we don't know how to tell you this. Like, you're mostly human, but also you're kind of got some monkey in you." And and like, so he is subhuman. So he actually can't vote, because after the state found out about that, they were like, "Hold on, animals can't vote in elections." So they told him he can't because he has monkey blood in him. So Arbor actually cannot vote. It's really funny. Like he
now
tried.
I really know it's really late for you.
He tried. He walked in, and there was like the security guards were like, "No, we know about you, Arbor," because like he pulled out his ID and he was like, "Oh, I'm here to vote," and then they were like, "No, wait, Arbor," and then they like looked it up and they're like, "Yep, right here. It says you were gonna try to come in here. You got monkey brains. You can't vote." But yeah, so Arbor is impartial to this, but you trash pandas, if you guys have a YouTube channel, I would love for you to upload a video saying your thoughts on this and just confuse your viewers, but then tell your viewers that they should also give their opinions. And this isn't about like sponsoring our channel. Like don't even say where you got it from. Don't even say like where you got this question from. Just ask your viewers to put in their responses, and then come back to this video once you get a bunch and link your video, and we'll go and watch it. And then in the next podcast, if any of you do this, in the next podcast, we'll come back to this discussion, and me and Ghost will duke it out using the points that your viewers gave you. And also tell your viewers to make their own, do the same thing, and start this big chain. And then
except for the fact that I wouldn't do that.
Hold on, wait. In a month, we'll get to PewDiePie. It's like Kevin Bacon, where it's like 7 steps to Kevin Bacon. This is in a month. Okay,
what?
Not PewDiePie. Jack's Films. In a month, it'll get to Jack's Films. No.
No.
Who's smaller than Jack's Films?
I'm not.
You think Oni Plays would talk about it? I feel like they
just make fun of us.
I think they talk about it.
Just make fun
I
of us.
I want to hear which of the Oni Plays friends support Ice Cream Gate.
It would probably be Zach
and
doing stupid shit.
Which of them are against me eating ice cream that's been paid for and is gonna go to waste? Kind of.
Hypothetically,
kind
even though
of.
it hasn't been made at all.
It feels like the same discussion about how like 90% of money is fake. It feels like
America.
Yeah, in America, it feels like the same vein of like where this hypothetical invisible ice cream is there, and it's supposed to be made, and the customer is negating that, but technically, that ice cream, like if the system was like connected to our stock, that ice cream we would have too much ice cream. It would look like we didn't give a customer ice cream. It's like if it would be like, you know what it's like? Oh my god, you know what it's like? It's like if a customer told me to keep the change, and instead of putting the change in my tip jar, I put the change back in my drawer. And then at the end of the night, it would look like I overcharged people. I feel like it's similar to that, where they're saying they don't want it, but then instead of making it and then giving it to someone who does want it, we just keep it in there, and then at the end, it looks like we have too much than what was paid for, and it looks like someone paid for something that was never made for them.
I wonder how many times these podcasts sound like I'm just dubbing over them and you just go on a tangent.
That's what I've been told. I've been told by a trash panda. I forget exactly who it was. Sorry, but someone said that I think they like gave a description of our podcast as Trella talks for 58 minutes and then there's silence for a minute and a half and Ghost says 3 words.
Yeah, that's accurate.
That's how I think it. And I'm like, you know what? That is truthful. That's pretty. But I mean, if you wanted this, I'm not trying to talk over you. If you have anything to share, you can go and jump right in. Talk about whatever subjects you want, and then I'll sit in the back if I have nothing to contribute. I would absolutely love for that to switch around and have it be GhostXan talks for 58 minutes, and then Estrella says 3 words.
I just have a weird tangent about, like, something along the lines of, a good example would be, like, my feelings about there not being a sequel to Star Wars Republic Commandos.
Oh, yeah, you really do feel passionately about
it's
that.
It's a fucking great game that never got to see a sequel, even though it left off on a fucking cliffhanger.
Yeah, that's what you said.
And then they, air quotes, finished it in the books.
You know what, actually? Hold on. I want to see if... I'm just going to see if anyone... If a certain person's up right now.
Oh, God. I don't think they are. I think they would have had to have gotten ready for work. No, because that's right.
I'm going to see. I'm just going to... he is offline, but I'm going to say...
He usually is tagged as offline, so...
We're doing podcast and could use some input. All right. We'll see. We'll see if he gets back. We'll see if he... That'd be awesome. It would probably sound terrible coming through audio-wise.
I don't think it matters.
But it would just be great if we could get a guest on here for the first time. We have been... You guys have heard in previous podcasts, like, we have been trying to get our bum back on the podcast to talk, because he has some really cool opinions. He's said some stuff that I think should be given a platform for him to speak on. Yeah, maybe a slightly censored platform, but a platform nonetheless. So yeah, that's been going on. So you are against eating ice cream. I am for
Again, haven't said anything along those lines.
So you're supporting it.
Again, haven't said anything along those lines either.
Yeah, but you said that with like a disdain, and I can tell facially that you are leaning more towards not eating ice cream.
You're reading into this when you really shouldn't, especially with me.
See, he's trying to save conflict because he doesn't want conflict between us, and that is
not if you're trying to start it purposefully.
That's totally fine. I'm not trying to start conflict. You could be on my side here. I'm giving you equally chances to be on my side here.
I'm going to be more inclined to beat the shit out of you for trying to force it than anything else. Civil War, not because of this stupid ice cream conflict, but because you're trying to force that conflict. Oh my fucking god, dude!
This is like the pillow and blanket fort fight from season 3 of Community right here. This is like Troy and Abed fight. This is... You think we could get what the hell is that actor? Oh, I feel bad. I can't remember his name. The guy from
from
Community. He joined in the end, but he did Keith David. That, I think that's gonna be. I think it's Keith David. And he. You think we get Keith David to voice over to be the narrator for our little Civil War? Because he did a documentary on the American Civil War, and then he went in Community and did a voiceover for their Civil War, like as a parody of his documentary, and it was really funny. And then he joined as a full-time character in season 6, which is pretty cool too. It would be awesome when we make our Civil War movie if he could do that.
Why would we make a Civil War movie?
Well, after we're done with our Civil War, and once it gets to Jack's films or someone lower, Oni plays. Who's lower? Who's someone like you think who's kind of sort of? You think we could get? I bet. Oh, you know who I bet would I could it could reach. I bet if we tried real hard and we like really targeted people, we could probably get it to value select. Value select is already hearted one of my
like
comments.
how you said targeted.
I mean, like if we angled who we like are pushing these video like trying to get people to say their opinions, and we get it into his circle, we could probably get it to value select. He hearted one of my comments because I heard a Jim Croce. I recognized the Jim Croce line, and I guess I was like the only person who did in his song, and so he's already got there. I'm sure if I replied to his comment that he left on my comment, he would see it, and
that sounds very simp mentality. Not gonna lie.
Oh, what if I asked the people I simp to? They would reply to me. They tell me every video how much they love me. They tell me that they like all their fans, and I'm one of their fans. That means that they. So yeah. And according to the website I go to, I'm their only fans. So that's They would. I'll ask them. I'll ask all of my queens if they how they tweet. So next podcast, get ready because we're gonna have some more input on this. So if you are tired of hearing about this ice cream gate, get ready because next podcast is gonna be a continuation of this.
Shit, I don't have my lighter. I wanted to make a joke about the ending of the fucking podcast this time, but I forgot I didn't have the lighter. The lighter was gonna be like a bit where I like pretend to set you on fire. You'd scream and run off and sound like you started fading out.
Huh?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like get up and run out of the door?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Why would someone do that? That's like ludicrous. You can't do that on YouTube. That's no way to end an episode. Are you kidding me? I've never done that before. No one's done that before. That's insane. That would be almost as crazy as like ending an episode early out of spite. Like because you got pissed off and you just like, all right, that's the end of the episode. Like that's almost as crazy as doing something like that. That just makes no sense. That's like the most unprofessional way to end an episode, I think.
For some reason, I have a feeling to play Night Terrors.
Night Terrors?
Yeah.
What is that? What's Night Terrors?
I don't know. I just heard about the name of that game, and I was just like,
Night Terrors. Isn't that like a nightmare? Like when you have a bad dream? That's what a night terror is.
The night is spelled like knight in shining armor.
Oh, like a knight, like the Dark Knight.
Yeah, what?
Like he rises sometimes.
He rises sometimes.
Yeah.
Man. Is that code?
Is that code, fella? Carefully, Chris. Oh man, I miss Craig Ferguson. I wish he was still on the air.
Yeah.
Oh, Craig Ferguson has a podcast. He has a radio show. Do you think we could? What if we wrote a letter into Craig Ferguson? Do you think he would, if he's read the letter, do you think he would either make a sarcastic comment about the question without answering the question, or do you think he would just blindly give an answer without thinking about it and just randomly picking a side? Those are the only two things he would do. Which do you think he'd be more likely?
I don't know.
I know, you're not as big of a Craig Ferguson fan, but Trash Pandas, if you're a fan of Craig Ferguson, please leave us a comment. Do you think he would either give a sarcastic comment or joke about the fact that we wrote him about this super serious yet also extremely absurd question, or would he just give an answer without thinking about it and just like give a one-word answer, because he's done that as well when people have done similar antics. Or also, what the and answer that first question, and then also say what you think the likelihood of us actually getting our letter on the show would be. And also tell me how to listen to it, because I've been trying to find his radio show for like 3 years and I cannot figure out how to listen to it. It's not on like Spotify or like what's the other one? I don't know. I've looked all over the place. I cannot figure out how to listen to his freaking podcast, and I would love to. I freaking love Craig Ferguson. He's so funny. I get a lot of my humor from him. He is my favorite late night show host. He's where I got my idea for my parody like late night show that I was gonna do, and I'm still planning on doing at my Southern TV that I'm in, where it's the early show, very similar to this podcast, except it'd be set up like a late night talk show, and I would have an actual set, and Ghost would maybe be my sidekick on the show, like how Craig Ferguson would have Jeff Peterson, or whatever. I mean, I have Manny Turner, who's already a parody of Jeff Peterson, but point is, Craig Ferguson's just awesome, and he was in a rock band with Peter Capaldi,
I would say
who is a
that
doctor.
If we were to do like a late night show,
Like Doctor Who, not Doctor.
I would be more of a Hannibal to your fucking Eric Andre.
Yeah, that's what I see you as. That's like what the sidekick does on the show. You're there, and then it's just, make fun of it. Did you really quit? He quit.
Who?
Hannibal.
Hannibal?
Yeah, he said he was too old for it, and then he cursed out Eric Andre and left.
That sounds like a bit, though,
no, it's not.
Kind of funny.
It's not, because Eric Andre was on Conan. I saw the interview. Eric Andre was on Conan. He showed up with a big ladder and dressed up like a lifeguard on a beach, and he climbed he did the whole interview on top of a ladder. Was it Conan? It was not Conan. I'm very sorry, late night television fans. It was not Conan. It was Jimmy Kimmel, who he talked to. And yeah, he said that after taking a few years off, they're coming back with a new season. However, Hannibal quit after the second episode, I think, because I guess there was some bit or something. And I think what he said was, he's like, I'm getting too old for this. I'm tired of watching Eric Andre take a shit on his desk for like an hour or something like that. Like, something along those lines. That was definitely part of what he said. He said, I'm tired of watching Eric take shits on his desk. Another, comment. I don't know exactly what he said, but that was in there, which I thought was a funny comment. But yeah, he did quit. And then I guess they replaced him with, what was the guy's name? They, like, got someone whose name was, like, Cannibal or something like that. Like, his name was, or Gannibal. I don't know. It was something that rhymed with Hannibal. But then he said that, as a bit, that was a joke. This was a joke where that guy that replaced Hannibal also quit after 2 episodes, and then they replaced that guy with a new guy, like, as a joke, which I think is really funny. That's right up Eric Andre's alley. That's another great show. Eric Andre is so funny. He's just, his type of humor is very challenging, I think. It's kind of like Sacha Baron Cohen does, where it's all like secret camera and stuff. Like, it's so challenging to do because you're dealing with real people, and like, it's unscripted, so it's improv, but it's also like with people who, like, you just don't know what they're gonna do, and especially the things that they do, where it's not like, they just really put themselves out there, and then I could never do that, because I guess I just don't have as much faith as they do that people won't just punch me in the face if I did something stupid. Like, I just feel like if I did any of that stuff, I would just get hit way more than they do. Like, I just feel like I already, just being myself without trying to mess with people, already find myself in situations where I piss people off. And then I'm like, I was just sitting here. You especially, you're more than me. You're literally purple and sus. Like, people just don't like you for no
that
reason.
reminds me of when I first moved out and I went to fucking Burger King to use the fucking Wi-Fi because we didn't have it for a while in our house. Just because we were trying to get all reacquainted and set up all over there. And some fucking guy is just like rambling on, and I had my fucking headphones in. I was just trying to do applications for jobs and shit. And like he goes to look at me for like some sort of confirmation of something like, "Yeah, right?" And I'm like, I just fucking shrug. Like I don't give a facial anything. I just kind of shrug because I don't know what he's talking about. And then he goes off on me like I'm some disrespectful 16-year-old.
Well.
And I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't do anything to you.
Well, you know, Ghost, you know what that was about.
Yeah?
He was asking you whether you thought he should be able to get free ice cream when customers didn't want it with their lunch special. And then you shrugged, and that wasn't a good enough answer, and he wanted a distinct answer from you, so he knew whether you were on his side or not, and you shrugged, and he didn't know whether that meant you were there or not, which just actually, that made him more frustrated than if you had disagreed with him, because then he didn't even know where you stood, so, yeah, no, that is funny how things is happening. Like, you always get, RDT'd, or RDM'd. RDT, what the fuck is that?
Roll the dice.
Yeah, that's
but
what
it's in a different order.
That's what it is. You do get RDM'd a lot. Like, you join a freaking murder or jailbreak, like, and someone's like, he's rebelling, kill him.
I just say hello.
His name's GhostXan. That's sus. Kill him. He's the imposter.
I just say hello.
He's purple.
I just say hello and then get shot in the face.
Wait a second. He's on the same spaceship as the guy who got killed.
I was across the ship.
Yeah, he vented. He just admitted he vented.
I'm in a room where there isn't one.
Oh, so you hit it, huh? Like,
how do you hide a vent? And then it's just you're out.
Yeah, they just. But people just
recently,
don't like you.
I've been having a lot more fun and not getting fucking blatantly RDM'd.
Well, you go with it. That's the funny thing is you just sort of adapted. I remember you used to get really mad at that sort of thing, and now you've come full circle to adapting, and now you just kind of jump into the wave of that sort of thing. Like, you just kind of go with it, and you're just like, yeah, I'm guilty. What are you going to do about it? and they don't know what to do. Because you just
fucking love doing that now.
My favorite is when you up and say that you're the imposter, and when you're not, and then they vote you out, and you're not, and they're like, wait, but he said.
Yeah. That reminds me.
And then my name, for when I play Among Us, just some context, I make my name innocent, and then I'm gray, and I'm like, black, I guess, in quotes, but I call myself gray, because that's what the color actually is, and I'm like, I'm gray, and I'm innocent, and I just went around, and wouldn't you know, that works most of the time, when I'm like, I'm literally innocent, guys, come on. But I'm also... That's just a joke because I never get imposter. I'll play for like 2 hours and I'll get imposter like once or twice. Like, I just never get it. And when I do get it, I just kind of either go like back into my murder days of Gary's mod and just like go freaking professional gamer and just kill everyone, or I like get super nervous and just decide I'm just gonna throw it away basically and just like give up and just not do anything and just kind of run around and try to troll people and mess with the other imposter, and then they get mad.
It reminds me of how I've been doing in Pavlov for TTT, Trouble in Terrorist Town. I've been getting to the point where people don't know at all. They cannot get any sort of grip on if I am a traitor or not, other than if I'm fucking detective. So I'll just be fucking whipping around inside, like, in and out of every area possible, and everyone's like, "Whoa, what the fuck are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm just vibing, dude," and I'm just moving around, dancing, just having fun.
I don't like the vibe on that guy. I'm dancing, yeah.
It's way funnier because there's two like high damage pistols. That's the Desert Eagle and a revolver that has hollow points. So I'm going around dual wielding them in my hands, just whipping around and all that. And then someone's just like, "Hey, stop that." And in the midst of my movement, I just shoot them in the face and keep moving. Even if I'm innocent, I'll just be like, "Fuck you, I'm vibing." Just keep moving on.
If you guys ever meet us, do not interrupt Ghost when he's vibing, or you will get shot in the face.
Yeah.
That is, we actually lost a trash panda to that, because they made the mistake. That's why I gotta make this warning, because one of you guys came up to us one day when we were walking around, and before the words "don't mess with Ghost" could leave my lips, they were like, "Oh, Ghost, you're not wearing your helmet, huh?" And then just bam, right in the face, gone. So that very unfortunate, but honestly, that's 100% their fault. I mean, you were vibing, they came up to you, they were messing with you. You had no choice, I think. They left you no choice.
It's just, I'm so used to being like blatantly RDM'd that I've figured out so many ways around it.
Yeah, like killing everyone else first. That's the best way, I think.
No. There's a difference between me RDMing everyone and RDMing one specific person because they're a dick.
Here's what I do. If I ever get RDM'd in Murder and Gary's mod, then the next round, I find the murderer and I bait them to throw their knife at me, and then I pick up the knife and I become the murderer. And I kill them, and then I just kind of usurp the murder title from them.
Could you imagine being able to actually do that, though?
For those who don't know, if you touch the knife when it's on the ground after it's thrown, you still die. It's like a bee sting, where you can step on it after it's been thrown.
It's fucking so stupid, but I understand why it does.
I think it doesn't make sense, but it's funny.
How much you want to bet that lore-wise, if there is any... Because there's always, when you're holding on to it for too long without killing someone, it just says your evil is showing.
Yeah.
So what if the knife is just possessed and it just
I think it is.
Takes you over?
Look at the knife itself. It's always glowing and shit. And, like...
Yep.
That would make sense. And, like... That'd be funny.
Oh, man.
I could see that.
I can't wait to fucking bring you into the... like VR versions of those game modes. It's so much, but
I can't wait to be brought into the VR versions of those game modes.
The big problem is you also have to pay attention to your own body language in the process of doing all this, because people might find a tick as to how you're lying.
Yeah, I don't do that.
So it's really fucking funny when you know someone's lying because of certain things they do.
No, I lie in a way that I don't think I do that sort of thing. I actually researched the tics that people do, and then I do the opposite of them.
Yeah, thanks for blatantly telling me that.
Yeah.
So then I have...
Well, you know,
open reign over that whole situation.
You know, I'm not gonna lie to you. I tend not to lie. I consider myself a very good liar, but I try my best to live an honorable life, free of lies. I used to pretty much be a pathological liar, and then I just kind of decided that wasn't working for me mentally, so I was just like, I'm not going to lie anymore. I'm just going to be truthful. A truthful Trella, that's what they call me. So now I just run around.
No one calls you that.
They all do.
No one calls you that.
They call me that. That's what they say.
But I can already see a scene going on in my head in Pavlov where I'm an innocent, detective's next to me, and you're right up in front of him trying to chum up to him. And then they ask you a question, and then you blatantly lie to me, I can tell, and I'll just be like, "No, hold on. bang! Just immediately headshot, check the body. Check the body, detective. He's a T. Yeah, I know him. I just know him.
Well, now I'm gonna start doing that stuff when I'm actually innocent, and then you're gonna look like a big douchebag.
It's gonna be so fun then.
You're gonna look like a big old dick shooting people. They're gonna call you, they're gonna call you Guns A-Blazing Ghost, because you're just gonna be shooting your guns all over the place.
That's fine.
Guns A-Blazing GhostXan. It's
just fucking the way I run through TTT. People do not know how to predict.
Remember our good sessions back in middle school when we used to go on TTT and see how fast we could get kicked? That was a fun game to play.
Oh yes, that was really fun.
Those were some good times.
Because we would specifically try to press the buttons of like the mods without blatantly being obvious of what we're trying to do.
I would want to make them feel bad for doing it.
But yeah, that was back in middle school, so that was the funny ha puberty joke where we would swap out with each other.
Oh, that was so funny. That was like the best where like I would be playing Jailbreak or something. I would be playing Jailbreak and then halfway through a round I would just give my headset to Ghost and then I'd be like, "Here, you talk." And then he would start talking with, obviously, if you go back to that video I referenced, I think last podcast, he had a significantly lower voice than I did at the time. And he would just be like, "Oh shit, I guess that's how puberty works." And then they would, you'd think that they would be able to just be like, "Oh, he's got a friend in the room." But no, they would all just think I had like a voice change mod, or like they would just get legitimately thrown by that trick. And then like I would come back the next round and just be like, "Yeah, I don't know what happened."
Oh man.
We had some pretty good times doing that sort of thing. Or then we still do troll people like that. Like in Among Us, when we played that one session where you and I just, because it was my lobby, I created the lobby, and then you joined, and then we opened it to just public because none of our friend groups who played with us were available, so we just kind of opened it to public lobby, and then a bunch of people joined, and then we just trolled everyone because no one knew that you and I were like on voice call together.
Oh, man.
And no one figured it out like until even though we did some pretty blatant things that should have been kind of obvious that we were connected. And then at the very end, I was just like, "All right, this is fun. We've been on voice chat the whole time. Bye." And then we just kill the game for everyone. It was great. Not mid round though. I'm not a monster. But it was.
We were in lobby after a round was over.
So, and then that one guy, what was his?
Soul.
SOL.
Like,
well, you didn't have to dox him, but yeah, Soul. He started out being very angry because of how everyone is trolling, and he just kept commenting sheep in the chat because he was angry at how people were voting, and they kept voting him out, which, in his defense, people were voting him out just for no reason. Like, more so than you, they were just voting him out for no reason, and he got very angry at the beginning, and then he just kind of changed. Like, he got visited by 3 ghosts or something, and he changed to being more jovial about it, joking around.
I think he figured out that we were both fucking around, and then he was like, "Oh, you know what? I'm not gonna get mad at this."
And then we just kind of, the 3 of us, basically,
we just fucked with everyone.
We're just fucking around with everyone else. And then there was one person who joined. The other running joke I would do, which I still continue to do if I'm running the server, is so my Among Us, whatever person is the gray or black, I guess, skin with the red, like, skull hat or beanie or whatever you want to call it. And I wear that, and then anytime someone joins and puts on that hat, I yell at them and say that they have to change it, and I hold everyone hostage in lobby. I won't start the game until they change their hat, because I say that it's my hat, and they can't wear it, it's my hat. And then, like, I just throw a huge hissy fit until they change it or they quit. And then that one time that one guy wouldn't change it and I kicked him and started the match. It was so funny. Cause he was like, I'm not changing my hat, and I was like, it's my hat. And he's like, what are you talking about? And then I just kicked him.
Oh, man.
And then started it. And I was like, no, fuck that guy. He took my hat. He's not here. And then I got a little robot that screws around behind me, but then when I do evil shit, I have to replace it with the mini-me that I siphon all my evil into. So yeah, I got some cool lore about my Among Us Sona. You know,
all of those characters actually do have like complete identities.
Oh, I bet they do.
When you go to the medbay, it actually reads out their entire like medical history and their names, their blood type, which is really weird to me.
Yeah. Oh, look at that! It's been an hour.